You gotta.
No, how do we get it to work?
Turn this. Hi. Wait, no. We're talking to the world of YouTube.
Are we recording?
Yeah. So, we're gonna talk about the Duchess of Malfi. It was 1612.
Back in 1612, we saw this show, and it was at the Blackfriars.
Duchess of Malfi.
Yes. They know. It was at the Blackfriars Theater. Only thing I remember about that I don't remember anything about it.
Talk about the Blackfriars Theater. Okay. It could seat between 500 and 700 people. It was big, not too big. It was about a quarter the size of the globe. More? Okay, well, it was indoors. It was an indoor theater, unlike most of the theaters in the day. Because it was an indoor theater, the scenery could be used over and over again. It didn't have to worry about the weather or anything becoming damaged. So they were able to build more extravagant backdrops. Because it was roofed, they needed artificial lighting, so they used candles. They used candles up top above everyone in the audience. There was a lot of artificial lighting. And periodically throughout the performance, they would have to relight the candles. So everybody would wait for the candles to be relit before the play could continue. The stage was equipped with trap doors, hanging fixtures. It was available for many special effects. Duchess of Malfi didn't really call for that, though. The set for Duchess of Malfi was simple, not too many things. You got a table, some chairs, maybe a few props. It's a simple play. The theater itself was different than many other theaters at the time. It wasn't restricted to the upper class, but it was more expensive to get in. You paid about 6 pence, and so therefore more of a higher class would show up and attend the plays. Sucks for the poors. What can you say? So going to the Blackfriars Theater was not only a pleasurable evening experience, it was also a way to show off your social status by showing where you sat would signify how much you could afford. While the Duchess of Malfi did have its origins at the Blackfriars Theater, it did move to the Globe Theater after several performances. Am I done? Can I leave?
Let me tell you, Blackfriars was better than any of that other crap down across the river.
Oh,
you know what they used to do? They'd go see the show during the day, and then they'd go see a bear fight. Who wants to see bear fight?
Oh, and it was surrounded by all of those whorehouses. Didn't you go to those? Anyway, the costumes at the Blackfriar, they were nice.
And the costume designer, amazing. Let me just tell you, he was a nice guy. He was a very nice guy.
Oh, God, he was gayer than King Louis XIV's brother. Oh.
There we go, girl. Shoot. You know I gotta be looking my best for y'all. Anyway, let me tell you a little something about the Duchess of Malfi. Best group of actors I have ever worked with. I mean, most of them were from The King's Men. The King's Men. Oh, you don't? Girl, I'll tell you all about it. So, you know William Shakespeare. He wrote for, this group of men called the King's Men back when he was writing for the Globe. So, most of them were, some of the most talented actors in London. It had Richard Burbage. He played Ferdinand. The costumes. Let me tell you a little bit about the costumes. Oh my God, love working on these costumes. It's all these frills and puffs and high collars with these lace and bows, and it's just boom, bam, boom, It was fabulous. It was absolutely fabulous. Here, look, I'm gonna show you some pictures. Yep, I did that one. I did that one too. It was a fabulous show.
Let's be honest, This whole country went to hell since Lizzie died.
Oh.
Lizzie, such a good girl. She loved the theater.
He ran a damn city in Scotland before he came here.
A city.
In 1603, James I took the crown after the death of Elizabeth I. The English began to experience a Scottish government because prior to taking the reign of England, James I ruled Scotland, which in comparison to England is about the size of a city. English started to long for the days of Queen Elizabeth. The impatience with the ineffective King James and longing for the forceful queen is reflected by the reversal of gender roles, a theme seen in many Jacobean dramas. Just as people contrasted Queen Elizabeth with James, the Queen's male successor, the Duchess was also compared to Antonio, a man whom the Duchess chose to marry even though he is below her class. The Duchess is called a mannish woman because she is generally assertive and decisive when dealing with matters of courtship and throughout the play. Some historians believe that this is John Webster's attempt to point out that regardless of our sexual physiology, the Duchess is a woman pregnant and graphically crying out in labor. The most essential aspects of humanity, the mind, psyche, and soul, transcend gender roles.
According to scholars, the Duchess of Malfi was an undisciplined version of a revenge tragedy, which traditionally has a storyline that revolves around the main character's quest to exact revenge from the villain or villains by way of cruel torture and bloody violence. Elizabethan dramatists were thought to use such gratuitous scenes of violence in plays in order to connect with an audience that was so inexhaustibly preoccupied with death and the afterlife due to fatal diseases that swept over England, such as the plague. While the set remained simple, the theatrical use of excessive blood and gore was spectacular in its nature. But unfortunately, by the early 18th century, Webster's use of violence and sexual frankness had gone out of taste.
Well, guys, that ends the Gilbert and Humphrey show. How do you... No.
Oh, conflabbed thing!